gives you the opportunity to listen to yourself over and over and over again. There's three primary stages. And those three primary stages, well, number one is, of course, reading it, just going through and reading the script. And as you're having these conversations, just read it. That's it. That's all you got to do is just go through, read the script. And I get it. I understand it is a little bit of a challenge because it doesn't sound like you, but that's okay because you're making progress. Number two is you do want to be in a position where you start to work on the memorization of it. Why is this important? Because at this point in time, you're no longer worrying so much about with what they're saying. You're more worrying about, or I'm sorry, you're no longer worrying about what you're saying. You're more worrying about what they're saying. Okay. And then last but not least is of course the internalization. And as far as the internalization, this is when we have it all down pat. This is when we can I can call you in the morning at 2 o'clock in the morning and boom, there you go. Spit it right out. Hi John, my name is Robert. I'm a local realtor. The reason I'm calling is I just listed a property for sale right around the corner from you over on Banana Street. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. We just listed at a great price of 500,000. And I was wondering who do you know like to move into the area? Appreciate you taking the time to think about it. Tell me how about yourself? So on and so forth. Okay, I don't need to do the whole thing. I've done it millions of times. Now you want to get to the point where you do have it internalized because the internalization of that is where we get the opportunity to now with what I talk about is the mirroring and the matching. And we've talked about that before. When we're mirroring and we're matching, it gives us the opportunity if that person has a certain tone, a certain cadence, a certain rate of speech, enunciation, pronunciation, do they have an accent? Are they their rate of speech? Are they speaking fast? Or are they speaking a little bit slower? Do they have do they have an attitude? Are they a little bit softer? Are they a little bit more mild in character? All of these things gives us the opportunity to just simply be able to assimilate. And in the assimilation, as with what I'm talking about, it creates an alignment. And that alignment is where they do trust. And again, not so much of, okay, I'm going to trust you with my kids kind of a thing, but just kind of like, okay, I'll give you a minute. Let's see with what you got going on. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to create the windows of opportunity. Okay. And the mirroring and the matching of that is going to be very important. I've talked about that in some of the other topics. So I do want you to be in a position that the moment that they go through and they say hello, you say hello. If they say howdy, you say howdy. If they say yeah, I do want you to say, yeah, hey, this is Robert, local realtor. So that's from the direction I want you to go to. Okay. Now, anybody have any questions? Anybody have anything that they want to address? So I don't know if you're on here yet, but do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just hopped on.
Okay. Anything you want to add though?
Nope, not right now.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about mindset, focus, and of course the numbers. Okay. Now, as far as that is concerned, we have to really understand that prospecting it's a lifetime activity. Now, if your job or your goal is to be in real estate for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, or for that matter, 50 years, hopefully not 50 years, but in that prospecting is part of it. Well, what do you mean, Robert? I don't want to be sitting there prospecting, when I'm 30, 40 years in the business. Well, prospecting is nothing more than just simply having conversations on, okay, hey, do you want to buy? Do you want to sell? So I don't care if these people are all falling in your lap. You still got to pick up the phone and call these people and say, hey, tell me, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? Where are you wanting to move to? How soon are you wanting to get there? So I'm not talking about just simply cold calling. We are, of course, on the topic of just listed and just sold. So what we want to do is we have to prepare from a mental standpoint. Okay. Some of the things that we can do when it comes time to being in that prospecting moment, just some of the simple things. Um, Avoiding some of the distractions. How about just the simplicity of, turning off all of your notifications on your phone? When you're prospecting, ding, ding. All of a sudden, this one is like, oh, this person posted. Oh, wait a minute, there's this special. Oh, wait a minute, there's this other stuff. So you want to silence your phone, whatever it takes, so that you can focus on that. This is another big one. Okay, I've hosted numerous prospecting clinics, and that's basically prospecting an entire day's worth for a couple of days. And what I see a lot is people are sitting there and they're on the phone and they're waiting for somebody to pick up, and they're just like, hmm. They're on social media. Here's the thing we have to understand. We are made up of energy. Okay. And with what we put out is what we get in return. We have this magnetic energy. So if we put out this negative energy, we're going to get back negative energy in return. If we put out positive energy, we're going to get positive energy back in return. If we focus on social media, you're going to get a lot of social media. And what you're going to get less of is what you're trying to do, what's in front of you. So I would encourage you, don't be on social media. Okay. Now, if you're doing something from a posting standpoint and you're recording yourself or you're doing something from a selfie standpoint, get it done, move on. Okay. But don't be on social media when you're prospecting because all of your time, energy, and focus, and even then you're going through because nobody's picking up for the last 20, 30 minutes, and all of a sudden, hello? Uh, uh, yeah, Barbara? Where's my script? You start to get distracted and your focus isn't there. Close all your emails. Okay, close all your emails. Don't text respond. Do anything and everything from the file standpoint. Push it out to a little bit later in the afternoon. As I've talked about, how about having a clean space? Something that motivates you, something that inspires you. See, here's the thing, prospecting is a numbers game. Okay. Prospecting is a number game. If you're not tracking your numbers, if you're not having the right setup, okay, what you're doing is you're creating a limitation on your potential. You're creating a limitation on your growth. You're just simply not in the stage that's going to allow business to come into you. Okay. I know I'm doing a lot of preaching in regards to this, but there are some points that I want to make sure that I am pulling out or pointing out. I'm sorry. So one is, of course, silencing your phone. Log out of social media. Close your emails. Don't work on any files. Eliminate all of your distractions. Have a clear space. Have something that is inspiring. Do you have a mirror? Do you have a picture of your loved ones? Do you have a picture of your goals? Do you have the things that is inspiring you? Because those are the things that's going to help you get the results that you want. Okay. Obviously, the purpose of what we're talking about is on the skill side. But there are certain things that we can prepare so that when we go into the prospecting mode, it's not just the skill set, because trust me, I have very strong skill set, but I've also had those windows of situations, windows of opportunity, windows of weaknesses where my mindset is shot. It's negative. It's just I don't want to do this. And then guess what I get? I don't get any results. And naturally, I should. I mean, I deserve no results, basically, is what I'm saying. And the reason why I deserve no results is because I'm sitting here like, man, I don't even want to do this. Hey, hopefully nobody picks up. Yeah, this is frustrating. F me. Whatever. And then at the end of that prospecting session, guess what my results were? Weak. Hey, so what I want you to do is when you're going into your prospecting, every time somebody picks up the phone, the very first thing I say to myself in a nanosecond is, are you my next appointment? 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 You my next appointment? Are you my next appointment? Are you my next appointment? Are you my next appointment? You are my next appointment. A little bit of a different mindset. Also being in a position where when you're going up to a door, how about just simply focusing on having the for sale sign there, envisioning some of that. Okay. So just being in this strong mental state because that's going to prepare you. And there's the old saying, fake it till you make it. I'm not a big fan of the fake it till you make it, but there are some times where you just got to go through, you're just feeling this negative energy. All right, come on, Robert. Okay, yeah, I understand. This happened, that happened, this other stuff happened, but you got a job. And your job is to show up at that door. Your job is to be in a position of picking up the phone and giving that positive energy and turn it around. F me, no thank you. Hey, F me, no thank you. Are you my next appointment? 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 And then now all of a sudden you find yourself where it's there is some level of interest. Some of the best results that I've gotten, and some of you guys can relate to this with the gym, is the days that you didn't want to do it because you put so much energy, so much effort, so much towards going from a -10 to trying to push your way through on the other side of that, which is trying to get to that 10. And then by doing that, now it's this, okay, so much energy that's exerted, but ideally so much positive energy. And now that's putting you in the right state of mind. Let's get some role playing. Okay, that's the whole purpose of this. So, anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that they want to add? All
I
right.
think with Robert, just going back into putting yourself in prospecting mode, I
Mhm.
think that's really important because for me, I notice my challenge is I get distracted very easily. You know this. So I get distracted, and with me, I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
So with me, I have to be very aware of my environment, put myself in those spaces. I have to do that forcefully. Otherwise, I already know myself.
Hmm.
So I think that's super important to, know yourself, know where you do feel like you can give 100% and put yourself in that environment. And sometimes we have to just create that. So a lot of this is mental, you're trying to just like put yourself in that right mindset.
Yeah.
So for me, I do have to sometimes seclude myself in order for me to be able to focus.
100%. I appreciate you sharing that because that what you just said, Lizette, is like 98, 99% of the realtors. And they can relate to with what you just said because they do find themselves in that position. Even though those are of those people that are in a sense focused, they have everything in a sense with what I just mentioned, and they start to get pulled in so many different directions. The text from the hey mom, dad, what time are you coming home, from the spouse, the significant other, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the oh shoot, did I actually turn off the stove? All of these things, we find ourselves in this constant state. So we have to constantly pull ourselves right back into that same direction. And that's why we have to avoid all of the other distractions. I'm sure as you've noticed when I'm prospecting, I get really focused in, hyper focused in with what the task at hand is. And when I do that, I avoid all the distractions. So as far as with what you're talking about, it is important that we all understand that we're going to be dealing with it. Okay. So, and if you're the kind of person that is, that having that squirrel mentality, knowing that you have to avoid those distractions. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and move in, and move on. As far as, let's take a look. I'm going to share a script here with you guys. Hmm. All right. Who wants to role play? Who wants to give it a shot? I'm going to help you get better. My goal is, of course, to help you guys get stronger and better on your skills. Who wants to be that first person? Good. All right. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and go first. So, Lizette, let me go ahead and have you participate. That's the whole purpose of this, guys. We got to participate because in this, I can sit here and I can talk and preach about it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every single day, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. But you don't want to hear me just simply talk. The purpose of this is to work on our skills. So, who wants to be that person? If not, I'll just go ahead and go. All right, Lizette, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Lizette.
Yes.
Lizette, hey, this is Robert, local realtor. The reason I'm calling you is I just listed a beautiful home for sale right around the corner from you over on Banana Street. It's a four-bedroom, two-bath home. We have it listed at a great price of 500,000. I was curious, who do you know that would like to move here into our neighborhood?
I don't know anyone.
Okay,
Oh.
well, that's fair. I just want to take a minute to say thank you for even thinking about it. Tell me, how about yourself, Lizette? When are you planning on selling?
How'd you even get my number?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do have a service provider that gives us all of the local phone numbers here in the area. But going back to the question, Lizette, when would you consider making that move?
Oh, well, I mean, well, we are thinking about moving out of state,
Okay,
but not here. We're not staying here in California.
got it. Okay, so you are considering on making a move out of state. What state would you guys consider making a move to?
Into Arizona.
Very nice. What part of Arizona are you considering?
Central.
Okay, so are you talking about like maybe Phoenix, Glendale, Avondale,
Yeah, Phoenix.
Scottsdale, any of the Dales?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, there we go. Awesome. Yeah, I love Phoenix. Central Phoenix is actually one of my favorite parts of all of Arizona. Now, as far as your time frame is concerned, how soon are you wanting to get over there?
I mean, we're actually it's funny you called because we're actually already talking to somebody.
Oh,
We got pre-approved. So we are
well,
actually looking, but like I said, we'll be moving out of state.
Very good. So you guys are making that move over to Phoenix, Central Arizona, as you mentioned. What's waiting for you over in Phoenix, by the way?
Just getting out of here. We just
Okay.
want something different.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Something definitely different. So there's a lot more desert out there in that area. What are you guys most looking forward to when you get over to Phoenix?
Well, I mean, just being in a different area. We've been here pretty much all our lives. So we're ready to go.
Got it. Speaking of, how long have you actually lived in this home?
In this home,
Uh,
about 10 years.
okay, cool. Awesome. You guys have been here now for 10 years. Where'd you guys move from 10 years ago?
We actually moved from LA.
Okay, well, that's a pretty big move. What made you guys decide to
Mhm.
pick this part of town?
It was just another thing. We wanted different area.
Okay, so you wanted something a little bit of a different area. Now, you mentioned your goal is to get over to Central Arizona, get over to Phoenix. You're already in conversation with another realtor. As far as time frame is concerned, though, how soon would you like to be there?
Well, I mean, we're ready to go. It's just
Okay.
more about finding that home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, do you already have an agent that's working with you in Arizona?
No, not yet.
Well, let me refer you to a really good friend of mine. His name is David. He pretty much works out of Scottsdale. He services all of that Phoenix metro area. What I'll do is I'll send you a text here and feel free to reach out to him. You know, Lizette, I definitely would love also the opportunity to help you and your family get over to Phoenix. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it could take 1 to 3 months in this market to get a home sold. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we're looking at about 30, maybe 45 days. So in reality, we're looking at about 2 to 5 months for the entire process. So I guess my question to you, Lizette, is that if we could get you there, I don't know, maybe by the summertime, would that be okay with you guys?
I mean, yeah, it's more about just finding that next home. I
Sure.
figured we'd put our home on the market,
Yeah.
once we find it.
Are you needing to sell this home in order to purchase the next home? Or are you trying to do a contingency sale?
Uh, Not really. I mean, we're pretty good just already buying it.
Okay. Yeah.
But we would probably just put it on the market once we're already, taking that next step.
For sure. Let me do this. What I'd love the opportunity to do is have a conversation with you and your significant other, and we could talk about putting a plan in place. I'm looking at my calendar right now. We can get together as early as tomorrow, or would it be better for us to meet on Saturday?
I mean, I'd have to talk to my husband first.
Sure. Yeah. When do you think you'd want to talk to your husband about this?
I mean, probably later today. He gets
Sure.
home.
Okay. So big if we were to get together, your husband says yes, let's move forward with it. Would it be better to do it on Saturday, or would it be better to do it probably like on Monday or something?
Probably Monday.
Okay, so let's do this. I'll go ahead and put you down on my calendar for Monday. You talk to your husband today. I'll give you a call back tomorrow because I got to pull up some information anyways in regards to your property. When we get together on Monday, should we do this probably mid-afternoon, like 3 o'clock, or would you rather do something a little bit later, like 5?
Well, I mean, I'll have to find out. I'll find
Sure.
out with my husband first, and then I can get back to you.
So let's do this. I'll put you down for Monday at 5 o'clock. You talk to your husband, and then what we'll do is I'll call you tomorrow around lunchtime, and then we can go ahead and confirm that Monday at 5 o'clock. And if we need to move it to another time, it's no big deal. So that's what I'll do. I'll give you a call back tomorrow. I'm going to send you again my good friend David Aristamian. He's out of Scottsdale. I'll have him reach out to you as well so that he can get you some information on those properties in Phoenix, okay?
Sure.
Awesome. Well, hey, Lizette, I really appreciate you taking the time. I look forward to meeting you and your husband. What's your husband's name, by the way?
Robert,
Ah, there we go. Okay. So I got you, I got Robert on here. I'm going to put you down for Monday at 5 o'clock. And then don't forget, I'm going to go ahead and I'll text you all this information here in about 2 minutes.
sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Lizette, we'll talk soon. So the reality of that, what's the reality of that to come place? Probably not. Okay, but here's the thing. Does it happen? Absolutely. Sometimes I'll sit there and hear somebody when I'm prospecting. I've done this scenario probably about 100 times, believe it or not. But I know for the average Joe, it's like, oh my gosh, what happens? We get like, oh my gosh, this person is really, really interested. So what we want to do is we just want to stay cool, calm, collective. Like I do this all the time. Okay. and you just want to go and move in a forward direction. Now, one thing you notice based on yesterday's role play, what did I fix? I fixed my pace because I realized that yesterday, as Lizette pointed out, it's like, dude, you're like at an eight, you're like at a nine. Well, at least I said that of myself. So yeah, I was fast. And then today, all right, let's slow this thing down. I was at an eight. Now I got to make sure I do a better job of mirroring and matching. Lizette, any other insights?
Yeah, I did notice that. You were at an eight, you're probably like at a six now. Or maybe kind of a five.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some other insights? Highlights, lowlights, any lights?
Well, I think with this, because you're approaching a stranger, I mean, kind of having that the pleasant personality, it helped a little bit. But sometimes we don't get that. We get very like blunt answers.
Hmm.
But with that, I think as far as making like the referral out, does there need to be more trust built in place, like within that? Because I feel like we're approaching a stranger. Who are they to trust us that we're going to recommend somebody out there, or kind of that thought comes to mind.
Sure. Yeah, there's always going to be a trust thing. But what we're doing is basically just providing an answer. And in this case, you didn't have somebody. And even if you did have somebody that said, hey, I work with the top realtors across the entire nation. As a matter of fact, my friend David, he's one of the top realtors in all of Arizona. And then at that point in time, you can do your own research and I can follow up with you when I call you tomorrow and I say, hey, did you get a chance to reach out to David? No, we ended up reaching out to somebody else. No worries. I have other people, but I would encourage you to reach out to David. You'll actually be pleasantly surprised on how knowledgeable this guy is. So now at that point in time, I just leave it up to you. I don't push the issue, but now we get into presentation mode. We sign a contract. Now I'm going to sit there after you sign the contract on Monday. I'm going to go through and I'm going to say, you know what? It's always easier when I work with somebody that I know. It's always easier when I work with somebody who knows with what they're doing. Picking a realtor, there's a dime a dozen realtors. We know this. But when you're working with the elite of the elites, this gives us the opportunity to make this transition from here, from Central California over to Central Arizona, a lot easier and a lot smoother. Okay, so I want to make sure that you do have proper representation. If you trust this person, cool, no problem. But if you don't know this person, I would highly encourage you to compare resumes. And at that point in time, maybe I've earned their trust because they've already signed the contract.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, cool. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Anybody else of anything else? All right. So here's the thing, going back to it, and I want to give well, let me before I do that. Anybody want to actually give it a shot in regards to the role play? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to move forward in regards to this platform. But the entire purpose of this is to role play, is to get better on our skills. I appreciate for those of you guys that are on Zoom. I don't want to discourage you guys by any point, by any means. But if we're not role playing, it makes the whole purpose of this a little bit more challenging. Okay. So I'm hoping I'm providing great value. Okay. I'm hoping you guys are seeing like literally this script here out of 2,500 transactions. My very first year doing 42, second year doing 86, 120 plus deals was predominantly from this script. Just trying to share with you guys in regards to the insights. So the more that we work on our skills, I understand it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but the more that we work on this, the more confident we get. And what I like most about this script that it's very universal. Okay, Lizette and I go and hang out somewhere. We're at a gala, we're at a party, we're at at a dinner, we're at a whatever. Literally, I'm just kind of like, oh, hey, what's up? How do you know this person? Oh, okay. Yeah, I just barely got to know them a couple of months ago. You guys live around here? Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys. Okay, perfect. How long you guys lived there? Oh, you guys been there for 10 years. Nice. Where'd you guys move from? Oh, you guys moved from LA. Well, how'd you guys happen to pick this area? What am I doing? I'm literally just using the script. Okay. I am socially awkward in most cases. Okay. So, but once I get to that next level, I'm on overdrive. And one of the things that bridges my ability to converse on just the average Joe is literally just using the script. Okay. I'm going to share with you guys one other story before I let you guys go. As I've mentioned, I'm pretty much from the LA area. For those of you guys that are in the LA area, you guys know the company known as Stater Brothers. Stater Brothers is basically a grocery store, pretty much just in Southern California. And Stater Brothers back in early 2000s, I don't remember what company it was. I think it was Vaughn's or Albertsons or one of those bigger brands. They had this like ad running. Whenever we have two people in line, we open another one. We love our clients. Well, anyways, the Stater Brothers, everybody knows that shops at Stater Brothers. Great place, great store. Not trying to slander them by any means, but no matter what time of the day you go, there's always 7, 8, 9, 10 people deep. So I would do this silly little thing in that moment when we'd sit there and there'd be like 6, 7, 8 people, and I'm just in line and I'm just moving forward. And also I just turned back to the person. I said, Stater Brothers motto must be like when we get to like 20 people, they'll finally open a register and you get a little chuckle. It's like, oh, hey, you guys from the area? Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, where do you guys live? Oh, we live down here. Okay, cool. Oh, how long you guys live there? We've been here for probably about a good 3, 4 years. Really nice. Yeah, I live over here. Yeah. Where'd you guys move from? Oh, you guys moved from LA. Okay, well, what brought you guys over here? All I was doing is just using the script to have a conversation. Just an idea. All right, any last questions, comments, concerns? Lizette, any further insights before I let the audience go?
No, this was great.
All right, guys, we will talk soon. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.